Maang adlaw, ¿cómo está? This is Ben from Philippines Xtremes. First of all, long time no see, everybody. We have been caring for our newborn, so it's been keeping us a little bit busy, a little bit sleepy. I got a little bit sick from my hospital experience, but we're all on the mend and everything's going well. So, this video is going to be about our subsequent navigation through what inevitably turned out to be giving birth at a public hospital. So, if you've been following my channel, then you might know that our child was a breech. So they had to schedule a cesarean. Unless the baby moved, and turned around the proper way, but then it never happened. So we, knew that in the end we would have to have a cesarean. So we were seeing a private doctor in Lapulapu, and she works at a private hospital, and we were planning on doing that. In November, my card was flagged for fraud, my bank card, and that froze my account, so I couldn't access my account. But it was early November. We thought, no problem, So, moving forward, still no bank card. Okay, it's getting, into December. Fine, no issues. We had I think on the 14th or something like that, we had our final appointment to schedule where we were going to do the birth and the cost and everything, and just finalize everything. So on that Friday, which was when her appointment was, the doctor calls and cancels and says she needs to reschedule, and can we come that following Sunday? So no problem. Okay. So my account, in the States was frozen, but I was thinking ahead in the past that we could have local money, so we got Lily a bank account. But we hadn't received the card in a timely manner. And once we did, the ATM was down. You have to activate your ATM cards at the ATM machine of that bank. And you can't call it in or anything like that. So the card hadn't been activated. We physically had the card, but it hadn't been activated. So, okay, we'll go and we'll activate it, on Sunday when you go have that appointment. So that Saturday morning, I'm sleeping, having a nice dream, something, about palm trees or who knows what. And next thing you know, Lily's waking me up and she's like, my water broke. I'm like, what? Your water broke? Oh my goodness, this is not how it's supposed to go. So we got a little cold still. So we, call that doctor, and she's like, can't do it. My assistant is also, she can't do it because she's not here, and her assistant is out of the country. So what do we do? And she's like, well, this is an emergency. The baby's breech, and you don't want it to move into the birth canal. So you need to go to the hospital immediately and have it performed elsewhere, and do it as soon as possible. Go, go, go. So I'm like, oh boy, okay. So I'm running around like a crazy person, I'm like, okay, grab this, grab that. And Lily's, calm as ever, just, okay, no big deal. And I'm like, whoa, we gotta go. So we don't know what we're doing, right? We have no clue where to go, what to do. I'm not from here. She's from the hills in the province, and they don't really do prenatal cares and stuff like that there. So she's not really apprised of the procedures and the situation and where to go or anything. We don't know the names of the hospitals. Nothing. We're at the mercy of just whoever this person in the taxi, because we're going to take a taxi. So we make it to the street. They call it the Skina, and we get to the Skina, and I'm like, trying to get a taxi. We finally get a taxi. I'm like, bro, I need you to take me to the nearest hospital as soon as possible. She's in labor. go, 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 go. But can you stop at the bank so I can activate my bank card? Yeah, yeah, sure, no problem. So we hurry and we go and we get to the bank, and of course, there's a sign, a big wooden sign on the ATM saying offline. So I'm like, oh, this is not good. Um, so, bro, is there another branch of this bank on Mactan Island? Can you take me to it? Yeah, 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 I can. So we go there. Same exact scenario. Sign on the ATM machine, offline. Okay, I guess we'll just go. I've got some money in my pocket, that'll be the down payment or whatever, let's just go, go, go. We can figure it out. I've got money, they'll have to see us. So he takes us to the hospital, and I don't know any different, but it turns out that it's a public hospital. Okay, I've heard bad things about public hospitals, but we're already there. We're checked in. The lady's like, "This is an emergency. You can't go anywhere. You got to do this. If the baby moves in the birth canal, it's a danger to the baby, and it's a danger to the mother, and you just have to do it." So we're like, "Okay, fine. What do we do?" And she's like, "You need to pay the down payment, blah, blah, blah." So, okay, we got that. We got it. No sweat. So let's get the ball rolling. So the ball starts to roll. And boy, did it ever start to roll. Okay. And this is where I find out what exactly public hospitals are like. I've been to the Philippines before and had an emergency, and we went to a private hospital, and I didn't have to do any of this stuff. But all of a sudden, I'm getting the list after list after list. Go buy this, go buy that. And we're talking, the Band-Aids, the surgical gloves, the scalpel, the tubing for the dextrose and everything. You got to buy it. You got to supply it all, So I'm running around ragged. I'm getting everything. And, you go to one pharmacy, out of stock. There's another pharmacy down the road, go there. So I run down there, out of stock. There's another pharmacy even further away, go there, out of stock. There's on and on and on and on and on. So then back and forth, back and forth. I don't even know how many times I went back and forth, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, getting supplies, getting everything, buying everything, making sure that, I got it all for them so that they can do this procedure. So about an hour goes by, and then she comes out and she's like, "Sir, Ben, this is the most important. We have everything we need. We just need these things. This is the anesthesia so that we can perform the surgery." And, okay, anesthesia, great. You don't have that here? She's like, no, we're out of stock. We don't have anesthesia here. We're out. You got to go to the other hospital and buy it there and come back here before we can begin. I'm like, oh my goodness, out of stock of the anesthesia. Okay, this is serious. So it's late at night. No tricycles, no taxis on the road, no nothing. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I run around asking people, trying to upcharge, trying to pay, extra. Nobody will do it. Nobody will take me. So finally, this kind dude on a motorcycle says, "I'll take you. Can you just pay for my gas?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, bro. I'll make it worth your while." So he takes me there, drops me off, and leaves. I go in, and they're out of the medicine. They don't have any anesthesia either. I'm like, what is going on? These are hospitals. They don't have anesthesia. How are they doing, emergency surgeries? They're just cutting people like the Civil War. What's going on here? So they say, go to this other hospital. So, and this one is all the way at the opposite end, So I'm like, okay, how do I get there? There's nobody to take me. So finally I find some dude, same kind of scenario. Please, will you take me? Yeah, I'll give you money, blah, blah, blah. So he takes me. Go there. They had 2 of the medicines, but they didn't have the epidural that she needed to be numbed so she wouldn't feel the incision. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I've exhausted my options. I went to all these places. I don't know the Philippines. I don't know how to find anesthesia. So I go back to the operating room, knock on the door, and I give the 2 items that I was able to buy, but I don't have the important one, which is the anesthesia. And she says to me, "Oh, well, that's okay. We have that." I'm like, "What? You have that?" Yeah, yeah, we have these items. We're not out of stock. Okay. So rather than, getting all mad or whatever, at this point, I'm just, a ball of nerves. And I'm like, okay, fine, problem solved. Just take care of her, take care of her, take care of the baby. I just want everything to be okay. So, okay, they go in and they do the surgery, come out a little bit later. Um, Lily is on a gurney, and there's my beautiful boy. And everybody is okay. She's okay. She made it through. Um, and the baby's fine. They put him in my arms. I carried him to the room. And, I asked Lita, I'm like, how are you doing? As usual, throughout the whole pregnancy with Lily, she'd never complained one time, not once. Of course, I'm older and I've been around a lot of people, women who have had babies in states and stuff, and they have backaches, they have, difficulty bending over and doing things. I swear with Lily, it was like she was not even pregnant. I mean, she didn't ever once act like she couldn't bend over. She didn't complain about backache. She didn't, have swollen feet, nothing, none of that stuff. And absolute trooper. And just in typical Lily fashion, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine. She just got sliced open. She's on the pain medicine here in the Philippines is essentially like a high powered Advil. They don't use opioids, anything like that. And she's fine, you know? Whereas I complain when I stub my toe. You know what I'm saying? She gets cut open and they put her on some multi-dose Advil type crap, and she's fine. Which, by the way, reminds me that I wanted to mention. You know, there's a lot of guys that are coming to the Philippines, and they've heard some stories, and maybe they're like faith based. They're not living life fast. They're just normal guys, and they have certain values and beliefs that they stick to in their life, and it's important to them. And they're not really wanting to get involved in the wrong type of relationship with the wrong type of girl who doesn't have those same similar values. And that can be like difficult for a lot of dudes to figure out, where am I going to find somebody like that? And obviously that is a challenge, but there's a solution for that. There's a service available to you and anybody who is considering partnering up with a Filipina. Maybe you can find one like my wife who you know it has had a life that has just taught her to be resilient. There's millions and millions of girls here available that are like her, faith-based, strong core values. And this service called Christian Filipina, they connect those two types of individuals together using all their resources and all their vetting and everything else to assure that the people that are involved will be similar values. And it's absolutely fantastic. I know several people. In fact, I even interviewed somebody on my channel who met on Christian Filipina, and they're still together to this day. I recently met a couple that has been together 9 years. They have a child together, and they're thriving, and they thank with all their hearts Christian Filipina for connecting them. So check out that link in the description below. Click on it and sign up today so that you can start your same adventure with someone who is just like you. So, anyways, we get out of the hallway. They usher us into our where we're subsequently going to be staying, and the door opens up, and I just see a sea of people in there. No other mothers, no other people who deliver babies, just random other people. Like one guy was in a motorcycle accident. Another guy, was going through some other kind of aches and pains, something. There was, just random types of people who had varying ailments that were there. And they all had their own blankets and pillows and things. And we had none of that stuff. And I'm looking at the gurney they're about to set her on, and it's an upholstered surface with huge cracks and stains and everything on it. And she just had this invasive surgery where they cut her open, and they're going to put her on this thing that's obviously not sterile. But what are we going to do? We had no other option, no other options whatsoever. So I realized that's something that, in a public hospital, you have to supply all the bedding, all the everything, that you need um, in this situation. And I didn't know any of this. So it's nighttime and there's no malls open. I can't go buy it. I can't get a ride to my apartment to go acquire those things. It's middle of the night. So I decide, okay, well, there's nothing we can do. They put her on it. And I just realized I'm going to have to, when the sun comes up, I'm going to have to go and get all those things. So in the meantime, they're coming in, they need dextrose, they need this, they need that. They, go buy these things, and it's wee hours of the morning. And fortunately, Lily and the baby, they were able to sleep, and they're having me go do these things and get these things and whatever. And with each place I go to, they're out of stock. Go to the next one, out of stock. Oh, I have 2 of these, but the other guy down the road probably has the 3rd. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's, kind of the craziness of a public hospital is you got to run around, no sleep, no nothing. And you have to supply and buy all of these things that in a private hospital you wouldn't have to do. So we did all these things, got it all. Next day comes, everything's going decent. I mean, Lily's healthy, the baby's fine, no problems. Everything's good. We just don't have bedding, and I don't want her laying on that, even though she's already been laying on it for a few hours at this point. So I hightail it home. I get the stuff. I bring it back. We dress the bed and get it all set up and whatever, and problem solved there. As far as the service and everything, great. I mean, look at the end result. Lily and the baby are absolutely fine. Her incision was professionally done. We're 11 days out after the surgery. We've been home for 11 days and no infection, no issues, no nothing. So everything is, top notch. The results were great. Just the nightmarish aspect was my finances being hindered, due to fraud. An emergency labor that we weren't expecting. How can you really expect it? And then, having to run around like a crazy person to acquire all these things and being told some misinformation and having things being out of stock and whatnot. That was a real struggle. But the end result was fantastic. The baby was 3.2 kilos, healthy, cute. Lily is healing fine. She's, in pain and stuff, but she's not complaining, just like, in typical Lily fashion, like I said earlier, doing well and seemingly okay. And all in all, you hear about the woes and the warnings and things, don't go to public hospitals. Well, we had no choice. We ended up going to one. And in the end, it turned out okay. Yes, it was dirty. Yes, it was a burden on the patient to get the things that you needed. Yes, some of the information that they gave us was a little bit archaic, and there was, conflicting from person to person as to what we should do and what we shouldn't do. But you kind of find that anywhere, opinions vary from person to person, from professional to professional. So inevitably, our experience at the public hospital, although we didn't choose it, and I probably wouldn't do it again, turned out to be okay. So that's the story of it. We're doing good. Everything's great. Philippines is the Philippine healthcare workers that we encountered were professional, kind, patient, nice, and we met. Not everybody was that way, but all in all, most people were, and I don't really have anything really negative to say about it. Yes, the place was dirty. Yes, the place was run down. Yes, it was old. Yes, it wasn't the cleanest. But I met a lot of great people. the experience was positive in that sense. Made some good contacts, and it put a burden on my heart. I met some people there that didn't have any cash at all. And guys, do you know that as foreigners, we could really, really help some people out? If you have PhilHealth and you need an emergency C-section or just a C-section in the Philippines, you can have that done for under 20K. No, we didn't, but I'm just saying, can you imagine how many people we could help out just, through the right avenues? I'm going to talk to some doctors and have them refer people to me so that, I can give back to some of these people that are, it's stressful for some of these people. They don't know what they're going to do. I met multiple people. They're like in tears. They didn't know what to do. But we have the ability to actually help them. So moving forward, I think I've found a little bit of a calling for me as far as, how I can be even more of a benefit to people, because we help people, but that is a serious help. That would be a really great help. So I think that in the future, I'm going to be trying to focus more on that. So anyways, I just want to let you know, if you come to the Philippines and you want to have a baby, make sure that all your finances are sound and there's no problems with your banks, that you're prepared for anything to go wrong, because trust me, oftentimes things go wrong unexpectedly. Like us running around in a taxi and trying to go from bank to bank and doing all this stuff while Lily's in labor, and unexpectedly, and oh my goodness, but we made it, and we kept our attitude and our wits about us, in a positive way, and we're really pleased with the results. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, this gives you kind of a sense of what it might be like if you end up in a public hospital for whatever reason. You're going to have to do, you're going to have somebody that can do all these things for you, first of all. Otherwise, go to a private hospital, and that's a no-brainer. But sometimes in our situation, we had no choice, and you might find yourself in that situation. And if you do, hopefully this gives you a sense of what it might be like for you. So, all right, everybody. Sorry it's been so long since I've been on, but had a lot to deal with, and now it's all getting smoothed out. I got some up and coming stuff. My buddy over here's got a place for rent. I'm going to show you it, and so stay tuned for the next coming videos. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Really appreciate it, and have a blessed day, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. If I don't get back online to make another video, which I think I will, but if not, Happy New Year, happy 2024 to everybody, and may it be a great and good one for you.